G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Craig and Uncle Linnton's Adventures. And today I thought we'd have a look at, not really something different, but it is something different. We're going to actually show you how to make a swoop net, or how we make our swoop nets, the ones that we sell. If we look over onto the table, we'll get right away started, and we're going to show you what we need first to make one of these. And for those of you that might already have one, you all know that it starts with a tennis racket or a squash racket. So this is a squash racket, and we use a squash racket for, mainly we use these because they're good for adults, making adult nets on a much longer handle, so you're not bending down on the ground. A swoop net ends up being a net on here, and it's to collect live insects in the grass to feed your frogs and small animals. So just for those of you that don't know what a swoop net is. In this, right now, I'll show you one we've already made, just over here, which I should have had over at the table. We'll bring it over. This is an old one that we've had for quite some time, and there's your tennis racket. And this is one for the kids because it's a big hoop, it's a tennis racket, a shorter handle, and we have the nets manufactured by somebody else outside. So there's a fair bit of work in the net. You can make your own if you wanted to, but there's some stitching involved. We won't go into details on the net. We make the net for you here, but we're going to show you how to make the hoop today. And like I said, we'll start over here, and we're back to having a look at our ingredients basically. So we'll put that up there, and we're back to the standard racket. Any sort of racket really, it's up to you, but we choose the wooden ones are good. You get those pretty cheap from the second-hand shops. So we're recycling now, and we are going to have a look at the handle. We're going to have to take the strings out. We're going to have to cut this somewhere and put a screw in, and we'll paint it as well and make it all look nice and new. So also you will need is some tools. So a screw gun is handy. That's to help the screw go in for the first time rather than using a hand screw. And we need a drill. This one's got a big drill that's got to be changed. I will be using a bigger drill and a very small one, so I'll change that in a minute. We need some scissors to take the strings out. That I'll show you what that's for after. There are some screws here. I've got a couple of different sizes, depending on the hole, how it comes out, but I'll generally like to use the bigger ones if I can get them in. Each racket behaves a little bit differently sometimes because there's different woods in the rackets. And we need some tape. I've got red tape this time. Black tape is better ideally, but I haven't got it at the moment, so we can use red. And we need some pliers to help pull the strings out that are not behaving very well. We need a jigsaw to cut our hoop. We've got to cut the hoop, and best we use a jigsaw. That's the best way. And some black spray paint for the end result. Okay, so we'll get started. So the first thing I've got to do is to start cutting out the strings. And if you've got children, they love to do this. This is a great job for the kids. Imagine hacking into a beautifully good racket and just wrecking it. Oh, sorry about that. Well, it's got to be done. We don't want the strings. And this is a waste of time and effort. This is the hardest part about the job, is getting rid of the strings. So we just hack them out. Pair of scissors, big pair of scissors, very strong string, nylon or something, whatever they're made of. The old ones are made of cat's guts. Right, so as I said, back to the swoop net, and what we've got here is got the strings out. Now, it's important that we work out where we're going to make our cut. The first thing we've got to do is cut the hoop. We call this the hoop, right? And we need a texter for that, which I didn't include in my things to need because that's in my pocket all the time. It could be a pen, but a texter is great. And the cut has to go, this is very technical now, it's very important. We have to make the cut this way, like this. Long ways, as much as we can angle in, we've got to get the jigsaw in on an angle through here. So I can't go like that because I've got this here. So the sharpest angle I can get with the handle, with the jigsaw, is, I've already done this before, but I'll show you, is something like that. It's got to go through there like that. Now, the more angle I get on there, the more the screw can come through into this part here. So we have to mark it first, and I like to just do a little rough mark, just roughly I'm going to cut through. So the screw is going to then go through here. 1, 2, that's the thread, or the hole, and the screw, we've got to bezel that out. So that's not quite right. So let's go back down here, and I want the screw to meet the meat in here. So you see where the screw is going to go through, so there's the cut. So I've done all my homework with the pen. Now we start with the heavy artillery. Now I need to put some glasses on of some sort, safety goggles, or in this case we'll just use my magnifiers because I'm going to cut through anyway. Through here now, there's about 5 bands of wood I'm cutting through. These band in strips. If you have a look very close, you see the strips. 1, 2. There's a carbon fibre in the middle. 3, 4. So there's 4 pieces of wood and a carbon fibre that I've got to cut through. Okay, and this drill, this saw will do it. So we'll start. Get the drill going first. Get the saw going first, and proceed to destroy that tennis racket. Right, see there, it will snap open like that for you. And there we have a beautiful cut, and we can see the layers now. 1, 2, 3, and there's more than I said. That's the carbon fibre. So 1, 2, 3 layers, 1, 2 layers of wood, carbon fibre, then 1, 2 layers of wood, another layer of some special wood, looks like birch, another 1, 2 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers of wood in this tennis racket. A bit like counting the rings in a tree, except this is man-made. That's why these tennis rackets are so strong, and you won't break that. And when it becomes a swoop net, if John McEnroe can't break that, you won't break it when you hit the ground when you're hitting things with your net. So we think these are the strongest hoops probably in the world for making a net with. Okay, so you've seen that. Now I'm going to proceed now. I've got to start doing the drilling some holes in, get the screw ready. And now we're getting ready for the screw. It's going in. Doesn't matter if this is a little bit tight, but we don't want it too tight. At this point I'm going to use a normal screwdriver. So I've got one here, yeah. Don't use the electric one at this point because you could crack it. And we'll wind that in. Straight in there. This time for sure. Whoops. Now, put it down there. Right, that feels much better. So now I'm going to use electric. So take it out again first a little bit. Hear that? So back and forwards until it goes in. Letting it slip. I don't want to force it too much. Right, so let's have a feel of that. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not quite all the way in, but it is very strong, so that will allow for future to even go further if we need to. Now I'm just going to check it with the hand screwdriver. Oh yeah, it can go a bit more, but without cracking anything. Well, actually that's really nice. There you go, that's nice. So finish off with a little hand, just to make sure you know where it is. It is snug. Now there's our hoop, ready to go for the net to go on. That is as strong as an ox, strong as it was before. It's got a break in it. The reason for this break obviously is to put the net on. Okay, there you go. That is very nice now. At this point, now we're ready for spray painting. So we'll proceed over to the spray booth area. Right, so I'm in the spray booth, which is, you know, outside somewhere, and I'm under the clothesline because I'm going to hang this on there to let it dry when I'm finished. So first thing we're going to do is start spraying the top end. So we'll get that going. Now this is a normal spray can, fiddly bits you get from Bunnings or somewhere, wherever you get your cheap spray stuff. It is a spray, a flat mat, in fact, but you could use a gloss, doesn't even matter really. But spray paint's the go, don't be painted by hand with a brush. About $5, okay, get you a can. I'll use about a quarter of this for one racket, or a half maybe. Just got to keep it moving. We're doing the stick now, the top. We call the stick the stalk. Look at any bits that are coming through. It looks pretty good. You can't go too thick, it'll start to run. This is fast drying enamel. I'll put some more on there. Looking at it, it's all good, nice. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Now, for the last stage, we hang it up on the clothesline or some kind of a support. Get rid of that peg up there like that on the end. And then we've got to do the handle. Now you can't touch the handle when you're spray painting. This is the end, so that's why we hang it. And I'm just going to go around and blend it off into the handle. So we go around. There you go. We're done. And that is ready now for the hoop to go on. We need to let that sit for about 10 minutes, fast drying, 10 minutes, and then we'll, in the meantime, I'll go and organise a net, sorry. We'll get the net ready, and then we'll show you how that goes on when we come back. Right, I think this is dry now. I'll just check. Yeah, it's been here for a while. It needs about 10 minutes, 15. And I'll still have drip there too. I think we're right to go. It's very cool today, so it's going to take a while to dry. Okay, we'll venture back over to the workshop, and we'll take the screw out and we'll put the proceed to put the net onto the swoop net that we're making. Right? Let's go. Right, so back here again. Now the camera's on the other side this time, which is fine. And we're going to proceed to take that screw out. We need to take the screw right out this time, because the net's got to go over. Okay, now we break that apart, make sure, yep, it's just dry enough. Okay, so we've got the net ready and the hoop ready. So the idea is to feed the net onto the hoop. And this is a little bit tricky, a little bit technical, but we have to feed this in, I think, from the bottom. Now, you've got to open the net up. We have these nets made for us, as I said before. Now, Spotlight, this is actually a curtain, just to give you a little clue what's going on here. A 600 drop curtain, and you buy from Spotlight. I'm giving you away secrets here, but I did tell you how to make. I'm trying to tell you how to make your own. You can buy it all done, or someone's got on the sewing machine. They can make this for you. You've got to overlap it and make this seam. You've got to have. You see how there's a hole through there. Now Spotlight's done that all for us. We buy it on a roll, and we cut. I give the roll to another person who, a girl who cuts it up into the various shapes and then folds it around to make the hoop circle, and she sews it up. It's done on an overlocker. This is overlocked, the actual seam, and that's how it's made. But it does start from a manufactured curtain, in fact, is the point I'm trying to make. So that goes on there. We've found the hole in the top. This is where the curtain rail would go on. So that's a curtain rail. Alright? Around it goes. We have to put the screw back in, remember? So we have to move that back, bring it around, get that out the way. In it goes, like that. Okay. Now, Grandpa's going to use the gun because I'm not screwing that far. Whoops, hey, come on. Jump on there. Now, we'll just use the screwdriver to nick it up at the end. And if you can find the hole, the thread, that's the star. Okay, yeah, it's pretty tight. Okay, it's good. Nice and smooth there. Yep. Inspection complete. That's done. And that net is now ready for use. And if you'd like to see a little demonstration just before we finish up, I can take it over and show you how it goes, how it works. Over here, in the grass, if we're lucky, we might get some insects. Now I'm just wandering around. It's the same net, we just made it. Let's just see if there's anything in the net. Yep. There's some seeds in the bottom. I can see 1 or 2 insects. I don't know if the camera can pick those up, probably not. But there is some insects in there. There they are. You can see them flying out. There's one there, an ant. And they're flying out. A couple fly off. There's one. Okay guys, so there you go. There you have your live insect collection net from Ohm Magic Frogs and Insects. And don't forget you can purchase one of these from us for $40. We'll make one for you just like this one. And just before we go, I think we'll finish off there. And don't forget to ask yourself what happens in the wild and learn to live with nature, not against it. See you next time.